big, evil, scary strata complexes. Some people traditionally steer away from them because they're big. And we're going to tell you about the reality of big strata schemes like Meriton and DY and things like that. Stay tuned.
Spooky or not spooky?
Yeah.
Spooky's my new favourite word as well. I reckon we get this question like every open home when you attend building. People are seeing it for the first time, and it's funny, as a sales agent, people go in and when you're trying to sell them something before you've gotten through the front door, it's like, no, I'd never look at that. That's never going to be for me.
People love to hate big, I think. I do think people love to hate big. When you see, some big infrastructure going in, like the big new hospital or the big new, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, look at that building behind you, Billy.
Well, this is the flagship development in DY. We're actually selling that and there.
Oh, wow.
Penthouse. Yeah, I don't know if it's change that people don't like, or just the scale of it. Feels like if it goes wrong, it's going to ruin everything.
Yeah, there's a natural born fear, and I think that's clear. I think it's interesting. Fast forwarding 5 years on these buildings and then looking back on them, but I can certainly say that when some huge buildings have gone into little residential areas, the locals really don't like it. The locals don't like the developers. The locals don't like the change. They often complain about car circulation or the amount of cars, how they'll get around, transport. Our northern beaches is already a little bit choked due to we don't have a train line, so we've got just a couple of little roads that lead into the city. So that sort of puts a bit of stress on that. So people are like, really, we can't take any more. People don't like the building when it gets built because these projects go on for years, so they learn to probably resent the project a little bit. But I think it's interesting coming out of the other end as real estate agents, we get exposed to those people that are like, don't like it. We get exposed to the people that live in there like, this is cool. What's your take, Billy?
Yeah, and then you also get exposed to people 5 years down the track that go, wow, I can't imagine life without it. Because don't forget, Meriton DY, the Lighthouse project, not just for residential living to DY that we never for that high-rise style, but it also brought all the commercial shops down there. So Woolworths is probably their anchor, and it's the third best in the state. People love that shop.
Yeah, look, I think in terms of urban planning, if you're going to do rejuvenation, it's pretty hard to pull off rejuvenation without scaling it. Like just to pull down something and build the same thing, it's not economical.
Yeah. These are probably the top 4 positives the residents love. The people that are living in the building love. Number one's the amenities. Meriton DY have probably got the best amenities in the suburb. That includes pool, gym, sauna, spa, a residence garden, great for pets, barbecues down there, great for entertaining. Just a really, really happy community. And it's got building manager on site. The oldies love it. Great for security. Great for just the day-to-day running.
A big one also is when you go over 3 stories, the base structure becomes a lot stronger. So even if you just hold and slide the sliding door off the property or a window, they just feel chunky. So when you go to, like, for instance, a house, they're really like small, flimsy sort of windows. When you go over to these like 10 to 15 story buildings, they're real chunky the whole way through the building. So I do find the quality of construction. It's often referred to in the building industry as tier three, tier two, tier one builders. When it's a tier one builder building something, they're just tonka tough. So I actually reckon and I know it's a much better build um, when it's a big chunky building.
The other thing, maintaining these things is not possible on a small scale. So, the strata, love it or hate it, the strata is professionally set up. The maintenance on a day-to-day basis is just like clockwork. They keep these things looking schmick from inside and out. I think people like that as well.
I find the programmed maintenance on the bigger buildings is military, absolutely military. So that gets cleaned, bang, on the spot. The garage, bang. The bins, bang. The bins being cleaned in the bin room, bang. The repainting the strata scheme. There's actually zero room for error in a big building. So the program maintenance is top notch.
Yeah, and I think that's probably again one of people's loves. They don't have to worry about maintenance. They don't think about it.
Yeah.
Obviously they pay strata levies quarterly, which helps to contribute to all that work. That's pretty normal, and some people like that because they're not maintaining the cost of a house, but they've got all the house amenities. Um,
So, guys, if you've just tuned in, we're talking about strata schemes, big stratas, big buildings. Are they scary? Are they good? Would you live in one, Bill?
yeah, yeah, I would live here.
Yeah. Wow.
I'd live here. Um,
And and you've got a pretty good. Like, they're not. Look, I'll give you the good thing about talking to a real estate agent is we've got scale. It's just fantastic. We speak to all the sellers and all the buyers, and we get a really good temperature control on good buildings, bad buildings, bad building big, bad building small, whatever. We get a really, really good feel on it. So I think it's sort of pretty hard to find this information out there in the ether if you're considering buying and you're sort of looking at a small boutique block of four, or you're looking at a big monster block of three. Like Meriton DY's got 360 units. What's the word on the street? And this is it.
and all of these from 2019 that have resold have made money. The
Oh,
average about 40% capital growth.
yep. Some we've seen as high as 60% from
Yeah,
purchase. So it's just been astonishing how well they've actually done in Meriton DY, the bigger blocks. Look, I wouldn't say the bigger blocks perform better than the smaller blocks, but I would certainly say I wouldn't be deterred around it. Look, I think the reality is sometimes you'll get that one person, negative Nancy, or the know-it-all in your family or friends, and they go, "Oh no, no, big building, bad, 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 bad," and then you're like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to take that advice." Now that person, I don't think they've got the exposure that you would have, Billy, or I would have with it, that transactional exposure to small buildings, big buildings. And I've got to say, the bigger buildings, no problems there. They are built better. They're super strong. The strata levies. Guess what about the strata levies? They're divided between 400 units. So 300 units. So I find the strata levies quite reasonable. I wouldn't say cheap and I wouldn't say expensive.
for what you're getting, in some cases, I feel in the bigger buildings, you see where your money goes better than smaller buildings. Because you've got lift access, you've got the concierge service, you've got the amenities. You justify it. Sometimes it hurts a bit more when you're spending quarterly, $1,000 and you're not sure where it's going. Bit of garden maintenance.
Yeah, and I also think for accessibility, there's a lot of consideration with newer buildings. So some of this, like so, in DY, we've got 3-story walk-ups. So if you're living on the 3rd floor and you've got an elderly coming to visit you, they can't. Um, maybe that's a good thing for you, um, but the accessibility is number one with these bigger complexes as well. So there's a lot to consider. Do you find the bigger complexes are a bit more like a retirement village?
Not at all. Certainly, the older clientele like them, but no. In this development, as an example, we sold 1-bedrooms to first home buyers that moved in, wanting just professional couples, just really good work-life balance. They're on the doorstep of the Beeline bus stop, 800 minutes each. We sold them to two bedrooms to young families and who then required an investment in the building. 3 bedrooms to older couples downsizing. A real mix, but it does appeal to everyone.
Billy, are we going to wrap it up? And have we helped everyone out there in big buildings? Talking about big buildings.
Just one last question from David. Mr. Novak, are you on your way to McPherson?
David, I'm on my way to McPherson.
Yeah.
Who's David?
David scored. Live on Instagram. Game's up and running.
What about Jeff Luby? Morning, gentlemen.
You got the comments there. Yeah, I've got loads of Instagram comments.
Now the building commissioner is assuring better quality. It's true with the bigger buildings. The building commissioner's onto these big buildings. What other comments you got on Insta?
People saying, a bit too busy. We don't like it. Built well built. Your 15 seconds have passed.
That's a show.
Have a good day, guys. Happy Monday.
Love you. See ya. Bye.